Welcome to the Wii. Anytime I'm booting up the Wii, you know you're in for something especially disturbing.
Imagine pets in the babies.
Yep, for some reason, anytime I start up this children's console, it is for one of the most violent, disgusting games I've ever played. And
the Creatures wasn't that bad, was it?
Well, why don't we have Steve Bloom tell us what we're playing today?
MadWorld.
That's the one.
One of the classics.
A mostly forgotten classic, but yeah, this game's ridiculously good.
It sorely needs an HD remaster.
That's for damn sure.
There's a couple of playthroughs on YouTube which are done in HD, and the game still looks amazing.
Yeah, with like the Dolphin emulator, you can upscale it to pretty ridiculous heights.
Yeah, 4K, I think, for most of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of those are just, they up-resed it, which is they increase the resolution in editing. So it's the same amount of pixels, they're just multiplied 1,000 times over. I've done that trick. It confuses YouTube into giving you a higher bitrate.
But the graphics for this are simplistic enough that it doesn't look bad or wrong. It looks amazing.
Oh yeah, I'd say this game is stylized so well that it holds up to this day visually.
Oh, 100%.
Big time. Let's probably start a new game. This one seems a little thoroughly completed. I haven't played this game in years, but when I did play it, I could not put it down.
Oh, yeah. This is one of those games that's a one and done, and that you will play it until you're finished, and then you'll play it again to show off to people.
That is, yeah, my experience. I'm now doing the latter.
Oddly enough, so is The Punisher.
Yeah, but this game is way better than The Punisher.
Definitely a better soundtrack.
That's for damn sure. Let's see. It's also got a lot of cutscenes, which I consider to be the weakest part of the game, but they're amusing enough. I forget all of them. I kind of block them out.
Yeah. No one remembers the story. They remember the MSTK Fest.
Yep. There's a good reason they don't remember the story. It might be the most convoluted story in video game history.
It's probably the weirdest one for any game on the Wii.
True. It's very, very platinum-y.
Yeah.
Although the game does contain, my copy of it contains an ad for the conduit, which apparently is also a very convoluted story.
It was, if I remember right, it was meant to be the Wii's version of Halo, and it sold like 2,000 copies in the first week.
Which was still impressive enough on the Wii to get a sequel.
Oh yeah, for the Wii it was impressive.
Yeah. That's why MadWorld is forgotten.
Yep.
And let's remember it. With extreme prejudice. I legitimately don't know the story of this game, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
If I remember correctly, it literally opens with an act of terrorism.
Looks about right.
There we go.
Someone played Killer 7 before making this game.
As you can see, all 8 bridges
I think
to
Christopher
Jefferson
Nolan
Island
was
have been
taking
cut.
notes.
There is no traffic getting on or off the island.
We are in hour 15 of the communications blackout with Jefferson Island, leaving the residents there effectively cut off from the outside world.
Yes, they're demanding that we not approach the city, and we've been told anyone who does will be met with force. But look, let me make this perfectly clear. We have no intention of giving in to any such demands.
Okay, maybe just this once.
My fellow citizens, first,
Well, at least ask if they're
that
reasonable.
all necessary measures are being taken. I have personally authorized a special
Is this
team of
Escape from
Marines
New
in the
York?
field. They'll be working
No, it's the plot of The Dark Knight Rises.
Really, it's The Running Man, but
Swift and peaceful conclusion.
no spoilers yet.
Yeah. There's a prequel tie-in comic that goes over. I think it's only like 5 or 6 pages, but it goes over what happened to everyone here. And it was basically they blew up the bridges and unleashed poison gas in the streets. There's something that doesn't really get mentioned in game.
I feel it is heavily implied.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Twisted Metal tie-in comic, which explains things that never needed explaining. And it's definitely the sound of smoking. Woo, woo, woo.
Me. Ready as always.
It's got a wacky joke cigarette full of confetti. And it's a video game, so of course the protagonist is voiced by Steve Bloom.
It's a video game from the mid-2000s.
Yeah, it really reached rigmarole status there.
By Steve Bloom.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I can name like 10 games off the top of my head where the main character is Steve Bloom.
It's funny because Midnight Suns, the Marvel strategy card game, just came out, I think it was about 4 months ago. And Steve Blum is playing Wolverine, because he's more or less the official voice for him now. And it was so weird, because I have not heard him in anything in years.
Yeah, he cooled off. He probably has enough, like, in savings to never have to work again.
No, he was pretty much doing about 3 projects a month in the 90s and 2000s.
Oh, yeah. So, speaking of voice acting...
Welcome to Bergen City! Welcome to Bergen
No!
You gotta go, Greg Proops.
Aww.
I know, I'm disappointed too.
You will be missed.
Yep. So, I've always wanted to play through this game, but it's literally impossible because it has running in-game commentary, so it is immune to like a proper Let's Play with voice commentary. Your common fellow streamer is Arclight Borealis.
Yes.
He has done a subtitled Let's Play of the game, which is the single best way to experience it besides playing it yourself.
Yep, he also went through a lot of the dialogue and cut out the repeating dialogue because there is a lot that keeps getting reused.
Yeah, he also muted the announcers and then used a soundboard to splice in every single voice clip at appropriate moments. Because, really, like I said, he's done the only possible good Let's Play of MadWorld.
Insane amount of effort, but probably the best one that you'll ever see if you're actually wanting, to experience the game without playing it.
Exactly. It's super well worth the effort. This is, just a fun dick around, which is also worth looking at, I think.
Yeah.
But sadly, we have to lose the commentary. One of the most unique features of the game.
Yeah, we were talking about that when Finley brought it up. And I was like, okay, so you do realize this is going to be you playing the game while the game riffs on you playing it, while I'm riffing over the game, riffing over you playing it.
Yeah, I couldn't handle that many degrees. Couldn't handle that many degrees of meta, so just had to slap some duct tape over Greg Proop's fucking mouth. And if you follow him on Twitter, you're going to want to do the same. God damn.
In fairness, I think you're kind of into it.
Quite possibly. It is a shame to lose all that John DiMaggio, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well. You've got all the best bits memorized, so drop them in where necessary.
I don't know what you could possibly mean. That is an unfair character assassination of me and my stealing of jokes from places people don't know where to look for them.
Yep, we're not even going to out you as a common thief of MadWorld's many, many, many jokes.
And cue the highlight reel of me quoting this game.
I am not going to bother editing that together. So your secret goes to the grave.
I imagine it would take a while.
Yep.
Come on, man. Don't kill me.
Impressive. Most impressive. Your skills are sure to please my client.
Yeah, that guy does have a hell of a hook. Killed the guy with one punch.
Good face mask, too.
Yeah, this is a game of good masks.
My client will be delighted.
Hey, I could use a sponsor.
Who's there? Show yourself.
A wild protagonist appears.
Worst mask, though. There's no way he's going to get anywhere.
Of course.
Yeah, goggles are almost as good, though.
Yeah, there's something. They're a little played out now.
Yeah.
You One Punch Man, the One Punch Man.
Bigger don't mean better.
That's what she said.
Consider yourself sponsored. Signing bonus is 10,000. Survive and you'll be paid in full. While you're alive and in the good graces of Death Watch Control, I'll supply you with such weaponry as you require.
Sounds like we got a deal.
You can call me 13, as I represent sponsor number 13.
This has been an advertisement for the video game 13 on your PlayStation 2 console.
Jack. Just Jack.
And the lesser-known remake, which deserves to be forgotten.
Yeah. I think it got a patch, making it less horrible.
It doesn't need a patch, and he's taken out behind the shed and shot.
And the original also wasn't very good.
With that, we'll be able to continue our little talks. I'll be using it to keep you abreast of critical developments as the game progresses, so don't take it out.
He's got a manhunt earpiece. As we enter some kind of game where you get paid to kill people. And he's got a chainsaw. That's the unique
Will
Jack
skin
part.
your astro.
Let the games begin.
Now you're ripping off lines from fucking Red Durst.
Oh, come on. This game is a Limp Bizkit song brought to life.
In many ways, yes. Can't argue with that. Limp Bizkit would make a good soundtrack, given all the rap metal in this game.
Oh yeah, soundtrack's one of my favorites of any game I can think of.
Yeah, I didn't know they dropped this song so early.
Yeah, this and the sort of semi-sequel, Anarchy Reigns, both have amazing soundtracks.
Yeah.
Highly recommend anyone out there watching, give them a listen.
Yep. Many of the same artists. I believe this is Sick YG doing the vocals
yes,
here.
I believe so.
Yeah.
They basically, the way they did the music for this was they recorded a lot of the music first, and then basically contacted a bunch of underground rappers, DJs, and so on, and said, "Hey, doing this. You've got, pick whichever song you like, as long as you theme it along the lines of the game, then do whatever you want. We don't care."
Yeah, that blew my mind the first time I was playing this game, and they had like this cool rap metal, and then eventually I started to realize, oh, they're singing about the guys in the game doing the things in the game.
Yeah.
And that seemed impossible to get the logistics of that going. That was really impressive.
They did the same thing years later with Anarchy Reigns, but also more recently, well, relatively speaking, they did it with Let It Die, where they contacted 100 different bands and said, "We want you to write an original song for our game. You can do whatever you want, any genre, any lyrical content. All you need to do is just title the song Let It Die." So there's a ridiculous, I think now they're up to about 150 different tracks, all called Let It Die. So that doesn't make looking for the music easy whatsoever.
Nay.
And it's you know, it's everything from rap to metal to power pop, J-pop, you name it. Quite a lot of it surprisingly good.
Apparently doing a circular motion here. There we go.
Yeah, I played this back when it came out, and I could never quite get the grips of the full toss.
Yeah, that's one of the harder of the QTEs. But for the most part, the motion controls are really, really good in this game. Because they're not the way they were in Manhunt 2.
Yeah.
There they actually tried to make you do like fine-tuning with motion controls, which is impossible.
Yeah, I think for the most part I just went with the shoulder toss because it's just like...
Yeah. But the chainsaw is controlled exclusively with motion controls, which is what you want. It's just sideways or up and down. What way would you like your target bisected?
Laterally.
Good choice. Hit an A button or something. We're still in a tutorial.
Yeah. Pretty much the entire first stage is your tutorial, which is... It feels a bit much considering how simplistic the gameplay is.
It is, but they want you to know all the nuances, such as they are.
It's a B finish because you beat them to death with their own spine.
Can't argue with that. Whatever. Just drop him. Impressive.
Agent 13 is pleased.
I forget what he wants me to do. Enemies appear as red dots. Find one, hold the A button. You're an enemy. I've done this many times. You haven't been paying attention, 13. Also headbutt him. And now we get environmental hazards.
Now we get to the fun part of the game.
Yeah, big time. This is another thing that won me over when I first started playing the game. Not that. That's nothing. But there's all sorts of environmental weapons. Not you. There. Got him a nice inner tube. He can safely go swimming.
The targeting on that, I remember being very finicky at times.
At times. Right there was basically automatic.
Now we get to the really fun part.
Yep. Yeah, we're still not quite at the point where I was won over. There we go. 2 environmental hazards in 1. And finally, Rosebush him. Just deliver him. Maybe they shouldn't have put this song so early in the tutorial. It's a little underserved here. There are more appropriate songs that I can think of, having basically memorized the soundtrack.
Yeah, Survival would have been a good one for the tutorial. It's very low key.
Yeah.
But it is one of my favorite songs in the soundtrack, so...
Yep. We are indeed bodying that. But we're not really supposed to be. We're supposed to be doing very specific commands. Tire. 6,000 points. If you care about points, you're playing the wrong video game.
Yeah, you've got... Points are really just there to gatekeep the next section of the game.
It is kind of fun to go for high scores and stuff. But yeah, it's not the focus. The focus is mayhem, gruesomeness, Cool music.
Best mini games that the Wii has ever seen.
Yeah, the mini games in this game are plentiful and typically required, but also pretty solid.
Yeah, I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 which I didn't like in the game, which impressive to say the least.
Yep. Oh, I got a balloon. Tell the U.S. government they'll launch a missile at it.
Jack is filled with whimsy.
And helium. Yeah, they want 200K. I'm not getting paid. I'm probably still getting paid anyway.
Yeah. You get paid by the organ.
So we can put the barrel on the guy, or we can put the guy in the barrel. Variety is the spice of life.
You can put multiple guys in the same barrel.
You can?
Fairly certain you could. There's some of the barrels you can put 2 guys in and then start spearing them with lampposts.
Well, I spilled my barrel with that violence. So tragically, I don't get the chance. Ooh, a dumpster.
Yes.
For human garbage. That's a heavy dumpster lid.
It's even better if you have someone in a barrel in there because it cuts the entire top half of the barrel off.
Hey, you can't Goomba stomp me and get away with it. Rosebush for later. Yeah.
Don't ask how it works, just be glad that it does.
And death garbage. It was full of popcorn. That was pretty violent. Pretty close to what I need. My quota.
Grab a guy and put 2 lampposts, like lampposts? Street signs through his face.
Oh, we can't donut wrap them from a distance. They will keep wandering around with their head impaled. Although I think that guy might have died of blood loss. Yeah, I think there's a time limit after you get your first impalement on them. I want to weaponize them against one another. Right through the guts and out through the top of the head.
Unzip them like a shirt. Ah, here we go.
Yep.
About to witness our most dangerous, most deadly device yet.
If you're remotely familiar with this game, you'll know who's coming up next.
Yep. I have forgotten most of this game, but I definitely remember this guy. I feel like there's a run button around here somewhere. Just missing it. Time to meet one of the characters in this game who has their own theme song. It's a good one.
Stay pimpin' or still pimpin'? I forget what.
Look pimpin'.
Look pimpin'.
Yeah.
Now back to this baby. You just toss a motherfucker into this here jet engine and accelerate that ass into the danger zone at 30,000 G's. What's going on, baby? Yeah, can't you see? Hey, what you doing? I'm talking to the people. I'm breaking it down. Ah, God, bitch! I'm gonna pimp smack your ass when I get. Oh.
He didn't end up playing a very big role in the game.
Yeah.
30 seconds and he gets his own theme song.
It's like the theme that they play to the boss fight in Killer 7. 30 seconds, but the actual song is like 2.5 hours long.
Right, yeah, Rave On. Best song in the soundtrack. And you rarely get to hear it. Okay. Give him a good shoulder throw. Sure. It's a lot more guys. Adds plenty more into our smoothie all at once.
Yeah, this is your first minigame, and it pretty much sets the tone for every single one thereafter.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, Jack can just jump around in the same wind that the other guys can't even walk in.
Also, if you wind up in the danger zone, you can, like, he just strolls out while everyone else is like, no!
Yep. I do also like this song, even though it's not, like, one of the ones anyone cares about.
I feel like this is almost like the Black Baron's secondary theme song.
Sort of,
like
yeah.
All the Bloodbath challenges.
Get you for that motherfucker! Get you for that motherfucker!
I think that was last guy. But whatever.
He gets to live.
Yep. We're friends now. We fused into one. Like all good friends. I want to go in the turbine. Still plenty of room in there. On to the Rocket Reamer.
I did not like the name of that.
I think that was the Rocket Reamer. Very sophisticated explanation of what we're about to do.
Well, the torso pinwheeling across the top is just delightful.
Yeah, we're gonna take the trolley conundrum. 4 points. Special delivery of more rose bushes. Oh, how did I miss? There. Now they're fused together.
Yeah, the game is very generous when it comes to the throwing the enemies into each other.
Yeah. Isn't there like a mythological figure who's like... Maybe I'm just thinking of the mannequin that's legs on top and legs on the bottom in Silent Hill.
Off the top of my head, not a mythological creature, but if you remember Kill, one of the final bosses was going to be a demon that was two torsos fused together at the waist.
Right. I might have been thinking of something Kill related. Bizarrely.
It's not anything that I can think of off the top of my head in mythology. And of course there is the mannequins from Silent Hill, as you pointed out.
Yep.
Extra life in the booth.
Ah. Way up there. I've done it. Very Donkey Kong Country style, 1-up.
Just because he grunts like an ape.
They really don't go all out with those video game sound effects that voice actors hate to do.
Apparently they call them uh-ohs.
Interesting. I'd never heard that before.
There was the guy that played main character in the most recent two Deus Ex games. There's a Human Revolution and whatever the other one was. He was doing an interview and he was talking about they were like, so what's an average recording session like? It's like, well, depends, if we're doing a lot of the story-based ones, it's just doing conversations, doing cutscenes. The one which I think he said he liked the least was when they're doing the kind of things, which apparently in the industry are called uh-ohs.
I always figured they'd have names, but I'd never heard people call them.
I just figured they would just call them grunts.
Yeah, but no. If you're in an industry, you're going to aggrandize yourself with a very specific nomenclature.
That would be the thing that doing those would be the point where I'm like, okay, I feel really self-conscious, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, I just learned that in animation, those like zoom-ins that are like paintings that are super gross, started by Ren and Stimpy, and frequently done by
every Nickelodeon show since.
Yep. But especially SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Those are called gross-ups.
Yes.
Clever. Very clever.
Yeah, the animation industry in general is full of lots of really weird little details like that.
That's for sure. Because it's, I mean, animation has been going through all sorts of different cultures for such a long time. We got quite a history.
Was the creator of Jake Long, American Dragon, when Disney was interested in his show. They basically had an entire meeting about this. They were like, okay, if we do decide to go, to progress with this show, you need to know what the fans are going to do to your characters. And handed him, I don't know if it was a stack. I thought it was like a big, pile of printer paper, but probably just like a folder or so of some of the, let's just say, spicier fan art that people like to make.
Only the most cowardly of creators have made hentai of their own creations.
Pretty much every half-decent artist in the industry, at the very least, has done it just to, unwind.
Exactly.
I mean, it's looking at it, just purely from a practical standpoint. Oh.
Here's the reamer.
Speaking of reaming.
Yep. This game is Rule 34 proof.
Well, I mean, just look at Matilda. No one could think of doing anything lewd to her. She'd kill you.
Hey, another balloon.
But yeah, just looking at it from a practical standpoint, it's good practice for drawing the human body in various, shall we say, positions.
It's true, yeah. Anatomy studies, they call them.
And anatomy in general, yeah.
Yeah. And like, I follow games that are made by artists primarily, and those games tend to have very horny depictions of their characters.
Oh, yeah.
Because artists are horny creeps, but it's because they train on drawing a lot of nudity.
Yeah.
Figure drawing is like a very, very basic step in becoming an artist.
And it's the first thing that you need to learn, and also the hardest thing that you need to learn.
True. So you need to do it often.
Yeah, a lot of the artists I follow online, and also know in real life, basically say it's something that you never stop learning and refining.
Love how we're just like talking about actual things while I've gone through a chainsaw duel and I'm dunking people in toilets.
Yep, drowning them in their own piss like this was Wolfenstein. Now flush. Really disappointing that there isn't a flush prompt. That's wasted opportunity right there.
Very true, yeah. And this game wastes very few opportunities. Like, when I was starting off this game, I would constantly be like, this is awesome, but I wish I could do this, or this, or this, and then a minute later I would be doing that.
Genuinely, it's baffling that Okami was the one that got like 15 different remasters and this one didn't.
Yeah, for real. I was just about to say, this game has very much the same sort of visual aesthetic of an Okami, this thing that, you know, holds up very, very well for a very long time. But this one got left in the dust.
I think Okami came out like 2 years before this, because this was Platinum and Okami was Clover.
Exactly, yeah, that was the divide. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first Platinum game.
Fairly certain, yeah. And arguably one of their best.
True. Oh hey, I just had to commit one more murder. And that opened up the boss fight. Little Eddie. If only I had left myself some healing pills.
I think there was a baseball bat around here somewhere as well, wasn't there?
Maybe. I mean, I have frankly done a bad job of finding things and putting them to use. Found the Raymer.
Hell yeah, pimps and players.
This guy's back, somehow.
Y'all little something in the methods of mayhem. All you got to do to turn some motherfucker out is toss his punk ass in front of the train and watch it get reamed at 120 miles per hour, which is incidentally only about as half as fast as I do my reaming. Ain't that right, baby? Yeah, come on, get behind daddy's shoulder. Stop now!
He never lasts long. At first, I thought his necklace said 88,
Oh,
which that's a big red flag. But fortunately, that seems not to be the case. It's BB, even though we haven't learned his name.
Oh, you don't need to. He's a black motherfucking baron.
That's for sure, yes. That is indeed what BB stands for.
He's one of the characters that shows up in Anarchy Reigns, but unfortunately, question mark, they changed his voice actor.
Boo.
Yeah. Matilda's also a playable character as well, which is kind of cool. But I think Anarchy Reigns is meant to be like an alternate reality. It's set in a post-apocalyptic world.
Interesting. I mean, this game is heading towards an apocalypse.
Yeah. No, this is sort of pre-mid-apocalypse, or mid-pre-apocalypse.
Yeah, it's extremely dystopian to the point of being on the verge of apocalypse.
Yeah.
Human life has no value, hence why we are constantly killing people.
I don't know, these guys are worth quite a few points.
Yeah, I mean, we've made a value out of them.
We're given value of what you consider value.
Yeah. I often say this game is very much like Twisted Metal on foot.
Yeah, Twisted Metal is Takeshi's Challenge or something.
Yep. They're all inspired by the same sort of, like, murder movies.
Yeah, Running Man, Rollerball.
Yeah, Twisted Metal is flagrantly inspired by Death Race 2000.
Yep, just about to mention that as well.
Yeah.
All the classics.
Obviously, can't go wrong with those films that I've never seen.
Actually been meaning to rewatch Death Race 2000, haven't seen it in years.
Yeah, I've never seen that one at all, which is clearly a mistake, because I'm like the Twisted Metal YouTuber and streamer.
I mean, it's genuinely a fantastic movie. As I haven't seen it in years, but I imagine it still shows up, or holds up, because the satire in it is still pretty razor sharp.
That's for sure, yeah. It has a good reputation.
Also Logan's Run to an extent, but I was always kind of lukewarm on that one.
Mm-hmm. Also, we're in a world where there are some giants.
Just a couple of freak mutations here and there, you know.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just the occasional giant.
Yeah, I think Jack's meant to be about, what, 6'3", 6'4"?
I mean, typical protagonist, yeah, would be around there.
That guy's going to be pushing at least 10 foot.
Yep.
And yes, one of the best songs in the game.
They didn't bother subtitling that. Too bad. I'm sure it would have been one of the best one-liners. Hey, C button. Lock onto the target. I was wondering about that. Use that tutorial sooner. Video game.
I think all he said though was, "I'll murderize you." Oof, right in the grundle.
Yep.
Although, given his size and demeanor, probably more of a Grendel.
Is that what Beowulf is about?
I was watching the, unsurprisingly, an obscure horror movie. A weird one. I know, we're all shocked. Canadian horror movie last night called Pin. Where one of the main character talks about writing poetry. And his poetry is I can't remember what it's called, but the main character is literally called Testes. It's described as Beowulf, except he wants to impregnate every woman he comes across.
Classy.
It's a lot.
And I'm still glad that you didn't say you were watching the Beowulf movie.
No.
With, like, Angelina Jolie and terrible CGI.
I feel I need to remind people whenever this comes up, I like trash, but even I've got standards. I like trash, not garbage. For the band Garbage, they're one of my favorites.
Good call there. Almost knocked my drink over. With all these QTEs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're taking over commentary anytime I get into these, because it's very hard to talk with all that Wiimoting. You can't emote when you're Wiimoting. It's the old slogan of the Wii. It's how they sold the console.
I feel like that should have been in one of the WarioWare games.
This is also a fairly difficult motion to pull off. But these are standards.
If I remember, you could just keep doing that until you do the final two motions.
Oh yeah, like I could just do that endlessly. I'd never actually have to do the finale.
Oh no, you still have to do the last couple, but you can just keep swinging the ball as long as you want.
Yeah. I imagine that Howard and Kreese had a lot to say about me slashing that guy's taint a whole bunch. But now I've had to say it. Get back to Varian City. Here's what we just did. Wait. There's what we just did.
It's the next one. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Because it has the same logo as the guy we just killed, but Jude the Dude is actually here, not Little Eddie.
Yes.
Interesting.
Also, you can tell this game came out in the mid-2000s because there are a lot of Brokeback Mountain jokes about the cowboy.
Wonderful. I will say not all of the in-game commentary holds up.
No.
Even the first time I played it, there was some stuff that maybe could just go, like, suck my teeth.
Yeah, it's very early to mid-2000s internet humor, for good and ill.
Yeah. It's almost funny that Greg Proops' character makes a lot of the rape jokes.
Oh boy, howdy.
Yeah, because, like, Greg Proops is one of those, like, guys who tries way too hard to appear feminist. Like, it's his entire personality is how much of a feminist he is.
The Joss Whedon effect.
Yeah, Joss Whedon, big time. Although, yeah, Joss Whedon did it to get away with sex crimes.
Yes!
Greg Proops just does it to make himself look better.
Cameras in this city, Jack. Most of them put here by the government to deter criminals. Others by store owners and the like.
Death Watch Control uses them
Some
to
just by
monitor
common or
the
garden
They
perverts.
also use them to score your points. And of course, we're watching too. Only...
Oh, Greg Proops also has the transphobic jokes much later in the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Also quite a few domestic violence jokes, if I remember.
Yeah, I thought DiMaggio got most of those, but...
No, his are mostly just about all the injuries that he suffered during his time in the tournaments.
Yeah, he mostly talks about it because he competed in Deathwatch, so...
Yeah.
Most of his commentary is actually game relevant. Yep.
It's just about the money.
Yeah, the one that I always remember is when he talks about going up against Jude the Dude, how he kicked him with the spurs on his boots, slashed open his scrotum, and his testicles unraveled like 2 balls of yarn. Do you know how long 2 balls of yarn are? Because I sure do.
Want to keep the audience waiting.
I don't know why that line is stuck in my head for like 20 years, but here we are.
It's that extra step.
Yeah.
Makes it memorable. Here's another really good one. There are like 3 songs in this entire game that I don't like immediately say this is one of the best songs in the game.
Yeah, I think the main Chinatown theme is the one which I don't really like, because it's so repetitive and it goes on forever.
Interesting. Although, since you mentioned being repetitive, I would say that the production of all the music in this game is terrible. It really is obvious that they made the music before they made the vocals. And basically all the music is very repetitive. It actually doesn't play very well as an album, but all the music plays incredibly well as soundtrack.
Yeah. See, I listen to a lot of soundtracks to begin with, both vocal and musical ones. So I guess I've got more. I don't notice it as much, you know.
Yeah, I have found plenty of game soundtracks that do play quite well as albums, and I've never considered this one to do the same, even though the songs are all great. It really is just all vocals. Like, the music is so simple when you get right down to it.
Yeah.
Extremely simplistic production.
In fairness, that is, well, really more modern day rap and hip hop is more like the beat, as long as the beat is strong, then it doesn't matter how repetitive it is.
Yep. And I would also say a lot of the beats here are pretty weak. They're all designed to have the exact same structure, which is a verse into a chorus, into a verse, into a chorus, repeat the first verse, and then fade out. So that they all end up being exactly 2.5 minutes long, because that's how long they wanted these songs to be.
Yeah.
So for game design purposes, yeah, they're all exactly the same, like, song structure.
Yeah. I think Anarchy Reigns is a little bit better for that. The songs aren't quite as heavily structured. There is quite a bit of structure, obviously, but stuff like, there's a couple of racing mini-games, which, with the song Fastlane, as their accompanying theme. And those ones, like, if you listen to the album version, are like full and complete songs, whereas in game it's, you know, I think it's like 2.5 minutes or so.
Oh yeah. So maybe, I mean, I know for a fact none of the songs in MadWorld are like cuts for the game. But it seems like they did make actual song versions for the Anarchy Reigns songs, some of them.
Yeah.
Anarchy Reigns also has at least one time where they use the exact same music for 2 different songs. That's kind of a waste, especially because one version is one of the best songs in the entire soundtrack, so the other version is like useless because you never listen to that one.
So y'all bitches better hold on to your seatbelts, because somebody about to be a motherfucking pancake in this piece.
We got a Death Watch challenge.
Yep.
Alright, broke my lock on. Going for the pancake.
This one's another fun one.
Let's see if I can plant people in there. I mean, it was fun in Shadow of Rome. Surely it's going to be fun here.
Today I'm bringing y'all a recipe for good times. Just toss some G's ass in the press when the time is right. You got a bloody Sunday. Just don't get tossed in the punch yourself, baby. You feel me? Hey, mama, look at
I've never heard Bloody Sunday used in that context. That's actually quite clever. Tess would be proud. That was clearly Susie. Who are you trying to fool?
Hello, it's me.
Nope, you've convinced me. Clearly they are different characters. With very distinct voices.
It is one of my eternal disappointments that I cannot do real-life emotes like Susie.
True, yeah. Just gotta get yourself decapitated and continue to walk around town with rings in your mouth. That's the trick.
Never seen a character who had made so many people saying, but no, I can fix her.
I mean, who else are you gonna turn into your favorite canon ship? It's just her and Kaide, basically.
I don't know, Susie X Locker is my favorite. No, Tumble Dryer.
I was gonna say, yeah, Drumber.
Warm and snuggly.
Good call. I'm
glad
you corrected.
I never know if that's too far.
Who needs conditioner? You can have fabric softener.
Keep her hair all silky soft and lavender scented.
Keep throwing people on top of the crusher.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if they clip through when you do, because there are some, when it goes back up, there's some guys it looks like they're falling onto the spikes.
Yeah, one guy was stuck on one of the spikes for a long time and then popped. Like a grape. Sure. Probably would be worth extra points. I mean, he's certainly not getting out of there when he's in an inner tube. Get one more good crush. And for no reason, hit that guy with a bat.
Right at the last second.
Yep. Sure, what up? I was gonna say I'm probably not getting very good points for all these home runs, but I did get another prize. Oh, Mr. Salvador's back.
Yay. Super Salvador.
Yeah. I remember when I played way too much Mercenaries, enough to actually get the hand cannon legitimately. I, like, the Game FAQs community that I was frequently chatting with for strategies called the Two Chainsaws version Mr. Salvador, or Dr. Salvador, whichever one is opposite of the guy in the main game.
I think Doctor is the main one.
Yeah, I believe that is correct. Thus, Mr. Salvador is the double chainsaw version.
You didn't go to Chainsaw Medical School for 10 years to become Mr. Thank you very much.
He is a bit of a sub-boss, so I should probably be taking him seriously.
I feel like taking him on with the bat is actually making things more difficult for you.
It is in many ways. There, I've sheathed the bat. You can get into nice chainsaw duels this way. Anytime you're not dead.
I remember the dodge mechanic being quite similar to God Hand as well, isn't it?
It does give you a ton of iframes. Now, this guy definitely has 88 on him. There we go, I split it.
think your extra lives reset between stages as well, because you should have like 7 by now.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that is the case. It will last for the duration of 1 level. Ooh, double blades.
These ones are fun.
Jack can become the Scissor Man. Oh, why did I not play with the circular saw room? There.
I always thought the cash boxes should do more.
Yeah. I mean, they'll do plenty here, because we can put the cash waterfall inside the circular saw room. And everyone goes to get the money.
Okay, now's a good time to use the bat.
Really needs the Smash Brothers home run bat sound effect. IMO. We kill because we care.
Because we care. We love murder.
There we go. I got myself a thumbnail.
God, this game needs a selfie mode.
It's called record the entire video and edit it in post.
Oh, post. Is there nothing you can't do?
It's for sure, yeah. We'll fix it in post.
Players and pimps, holla if you hear me. I am proud to introduce the most marvelous of barroom games, Man Dogs. 3 years in the making, this baby is almost as impressive as yours truly.
This game is the one of the few which I don't like because it is a complete pain in the ass.
You have a vague recollection of this one.
Oh, I have a very strong recollection of this one.
I think I am appropriately armed to do this one.
Oh, 100%.
And you know
Bat I've been carrying.
the black motherfucking bat stops there. Now all you gotta do is swing a fat bat into some fat ass and launch that motherfucker at the board. We keep score just like we do in darts, so you just worry about hitting it and quitting it, you feel me? And speaking of hitting it, hey baby, what you doing? No, I don't, baby, I got my own bat, I don't need no bat. Hell yeah. Go, go!
Yet another helpful
adorable murderer in the game.
Yep. Yeah, she's this game. This game's Susie.
Some may say I have a type. Others would say it's red flags.
That's gotta be a bullseye. Okay, that's not quite a bullseye.
See, that's the main problem I have with the game. If you're not lined up perfectly,
you get nothing.
Do not go anywhere near the target.
Yep. You gotta use the lock-on very carefully, which is not a thing you normally use in this game at all.
No. And because of the way enemies interact with each other, you can easily send 5 guys flying into a window.
Oh, I died. Some guy with a chainsaw showed up. But I have bonus lives. He doesn't. What? Apparently nothing happened. I bounced off of a blood stain and it didn't count.
That was definitely a bullseye.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. That might be a little nothing. Take a bloodbath challenge.
The thing about the bloodbath challenges is they are literally just an opportunity for getting additional points.
Yep.
You can just literally fuck around and do nothing.
Yep. Oh, that's my first bullseye? I've hit that exact spot like 3 times.
Oh shit.
It's covered in blood. Clearly it's not my first.
Instead of saying static is dartboard PTSD, dude, you have no idea. There's an even worse one later on. Probably another reason why I don't like Chinatown.
So close. Still not sure exactly which song you called the Chinatown like main theme.
Yeah, you'll know it when you hear it. It's one I don't listen to, so I can't remember the name of it. But
yeah. So I remember back in Arclight's thread, "Ain't That Funny" in Chinatown was considered the best song in the entire game by most of the thread.
See, I would say probably MadWorld, Survival, or Come With It.
Yeah, I tend towards the darker tracks. So like "Come With It" is one of the darker ones.
Oh,
Crazy.
Or, I Know You Want Me. That's another good one.
That's one of the few that is not on my licensed songs replacement thing playlist because it doesn't like slot into most games smoothly.
Yeah, it's a bit too whimsical.
Yep, it is perfect for the context of the game. Out of context, rarely works.
Yeah. I think Bandy Legs' song in the Anarchy Reigns is another good one as well.
Yeah, I haven't heard that one in context, so...
Yeah, I don't listen to the Anarchy Reigns soundtrack as often. It's got some good songs, but this has better ones.
Yeah, I believe this soundtrack has like 16 tracks. The Anarchy Reigns one has like 25.
Yeah.
And I have more MadWorld songs than Anarchy Reigns songs in my licensed song replacement playlist.
Yeah.
Because the MadWorld soundtrack is way better.
It's basically got two entire soundtracks because the game has two storylines and then they join up at the end to basically for the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if you want to get technical about it, it's 2.5 albums compared to one for this.
That explains why there's so much meat on those bones. They went for more variety. There's way more different artists.
Oh.
Whereas this is like 4 or 5 artists, some of which only get one song.
Yeah, this one is definitely more rap and hip-hop oriented, whereas the other one has electronica, dance music. You know, it's definitely... They decided to be a lot more varied with it.
Yeah, it's a little more eclectic. Definitely think they're both worth checking out. The MadWorld's better. I've always called the MadWorld soundtrack like proto-Death Grips.
Yeah.
Because it's very metal-influenced rap songs about killing you.
Death Grips if they, you know, lowered their standards to include hooks. You know, made their music a bit more listenable, you'd get MadWorld.
Yeah, they are a little more experimental than old MadWorld.
Yeah. It's weird. Death Grips are one of those songs are one of those bands. The songs of theirs I absolutely love, but they are very far and few between.
Yeah.
Like you start mashing them up with anything, and I am there. I think there was 2 full albums that someone did mashing up Death Grips with the soundtracks to Lisa, the RPG.
Oh, nice.
So good. I mean, the music from Lisa was good to begin with, but you add in some vocals and it becomes a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I could see that working really well.
Same guy also did a mashup of No Love Deep Web and BFG Division from Doom 2016.
Nice.
It's like 7.5 minutes long and it is the best thing.
Yeah. I remember some of these QTEs getting very precise in the castle area.
Yep. This one as well, the lower on health he is, the longer it goes. So once he's nearly dead, it's like 10 minutes.
Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah. You do not want to do a power struggle with him towards the end.
Up. He's back out of there. Oh, we had our Brokeback Mountain joke.
The Broke is back in the West.
Yep. I forget exactly which year this game came out, but I think it might have been pushing the limits of how relevant that joke was.
Yeah, I think it was about 2006.
That sounds about right. Brokeback Yeah, it was 2005, maybe even 2004.
Okay, 2009 was when it came out.
What? MadWorld came out in 2009?
Yep. Initial release date, March 10th, 2009.
That's pretty wild, actually.
Came out in Japan in February 2010. How'd you like that one, Japan? See how it feels? And Brokeback Mountain was 2005.
Yep, I worked at a movie theater when Brokeback Mountain came out, so I do remember that much. I remember the general era it came out, at least. I wonder if I hadn't done that QT, if anything would have happened, because he had no skin left. It's not like he was coming back. So I continue not to go for high scores. Pretty much just gonna try and get to the boss as quickly as possible. Kill that boss.
Yeah.
I remember this being incredibly hard to navigate. Because up and down only leads you up and down between those two options. You need to go to the right spot and then hit to the right.
This also has the boss with the best name in any game ever. Herr Frederick von Twirlenkiller. God, that's a good name.
Let's see if he's deaf. Measures up to his name.
I remember that you don't have to do any of the grapples with them, but if you do, it makes them so much easier.
Nice. Yeah, I want to do all the grapples just to show them off. Because most of them are neat. They've got a lot of unique animations to them.
Yeah, he's one that you definitely want to do one at least. I think you maybe need to do both in order to kill him. I never did. I never beat him without doing both.
We gotta get it up. Let's go, y'all.
Don't like seeing Jack on a Harley because of a later level in the game. I feel like Bayonetta stole that shot, but this game stole it from Devil May Cry, so
yeah,
who can complain? There we go. Accelerator. Found it. Guess what? Yeah. MadWorld is also car combat. It always has been. Oh.
Always has been, kid.
Yep. I just shot an astronaut on the moon. I crashed that dune buggy with my motorcycle. I wish I could do that in Twisted Metal.
Oh, so much easier.
Yeah, Mr. Grimm should be able to one-shot other vehicles simply by touching them.
Mr. Grimm versus Darkseid. And he's able to walk away from it afterwards because he just managed to hit the connection pin.
Rolled Darkseid over. Taught it a trick.
One neat trick that makes possible demons hate you forever. Or maybe it's just some beefy guy in a gimp suit. We don't know.
That's manslaughter's driver, I'll have you know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can forgive racism, but I draw the line at hitting the wrong Twisted Metal Black driver.
You're okay with racism? No, I think I was thinking of Minion from Black, how he's wearing the sort of bull mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sure is.
This is some weird Mr. Grimm footage. Some even weirder Mr. Bean footage.
It's kind of slapstick.
I mean, there's lots of people falling over and hurting themselves.
Yeah. What is a murder simulator besides the ultimate slapstick?
There was a post on Reddit the other day in the horror community Someone was asking what kind of like versus kind of movies would you like to see, like Freddy versus Jason, for example. And I just thought Pinhead versus Chucky would be hilarious if you played it for black comedy. Just picturing it like Roadrunner versus Wile E. Coyote with Chucky as the Roadrunner.
Your life
could work. I don't see Pinhead being that aggressive as Wile E. Coyote.
No, I do picture him being like, this is getting tiresome.
Chainsaw-proof cows.
And yeah, it's a Twister.
Yeah, they're here for the Twister reference, which was very relevant in the year 2009.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Von Twirling Killer here does have jet turbines strapped to his wrists.
And he used them to make tornadoes.
And is about 14.5 feet tall.
Yeah, there's that. That seems to be going around here in Vertigan City.
Yeah, that's kind of normal at this point. I think even Jude was about 8 foot tall.
Yep. Whatever that poison is that they pumped into this city has some kind of weird height increasing effect.
Aerosolized bovine growth hormone.
Yep. Hey, you let me do the thing again, but I keep missing it. The window on it is quite tight to be doing like an actual like motion control thing.
Yeah. Some of the QTEs get ridiculously... Like, you need to be doing them before the prompt even comes up.
Yep.
Later on.
That one, at least. Now I'm chainsawing his turbine. And it sounds like I'm driving down a gravel road because I'm shaking the Wiimote so much.
And there goes the rest of his arm.
And now it's my arm.
Hey, what's got one thumb and is fucked?
Did get me high.
Bop, bop, bop.
Just dodge this tornado. One of us will be dead soon. I've got the extra lives, so like my odds. Bang's a weird song for this one, but there aren't a lot of songs about tornadoes in this soundtrack.
Yeah. Not one of my favorite ones on the soundtrack, but
right.
It's one of those ones I always kind of forget is there. And yeah, I don't know if it's possible to kill him without taking off both his arms. I've certainly never done it before.
Yeah, it might not be. His receipt of damage seemed to have gone down significantly towards the end there. Up. He's box-proof, though.
Removed his arms, but made him invincible to boxes.
Yep.
There's a trade-off for you.
And now he's going into space. Or into his own turbine. Yeah, this cutscene wouldn't have made any sense if I hadn't cut off his second arm. So,
yeah.
Perhaps it was actually required. That's a big rank up for me. I just jumped almost 30 spaces.
Yep, the No More Heroes 2 effect.
Yeah.
So I think it was either when this came out or when it was announced was the same day that the No More Heroes 2 trailer came out. And I was suddenly very excited for the Wii. That was a fun 20 minutes.
Yep. I mean, the good Wii games are great.
And
then there's like 10 of them. If you're being generous.
Yeah. Because you can count them on maybe one hand.
Yeah, like they're super unique and you can't really get that experience any other way besides the Dolphin emulator. But
looks like you're in. Good work.
They're very, very rare.
No other kind with me.
Off the top of my head, No More Heroes 1 and 2, this, House of the Dead Overdose.
Yeah.
Overkill, sorry.
Yep.
Oh, Jack, we couldn't find any trace of airborne virus in the sample you sent. Still, I wouldn't go touching any corpses you find. It might be communicable via bodily
There
fluids.
might not be a virus.
Corpses. Wow, you're
Well, there's my plans for the weekend gone.
Does Jack have blue eyes? Is that one of the few things they spared color for?
I do not remember.
I know what I'm doing, Amala.
God, that's Steve Blum. He's Steve Blummiest. Yeah, this is pure strain.
He's blooming like a motherfucker.
Uncut Bolivian bloom.
The Death Watchers get him. But 22 caliber's too small for them.
You think there's a civilian still alive?
You think this is living?
American dream. More like the American nightmare, am I right?
Wow. Never really thought of it that way, but...
Huh? So
really makes you think. Okay, so we completed Varigan City for now. Seems appropriate to wrap the stream there. Also, these levels are pretty long.
Yep.
And we broke the top 100.
Start off Asian Town just so you can hear the theme.
Sure. We don't necessarily need to beat this level.
Great Wall Street.
That's clever, actually. I never got that before. One went right over my head the first time.
You've made it to Asian Town. Jack, you're doing quite well. And
Yep.
I'm pleased to report
Sushi, Ferris wheel.
Which makes your client happy, I take it.
I think they've got the giant crab from, where is it in Japan that they have that?
better backdrop than the exotic Far East.
Is this guy for real?
I forget off the top of my head.
No, don't answer
Yep,
that.
you got
I hear
me.
you on the transmitter.
It's a famous landmark, has a giant mechanical crab on the front of the building.
Whoa.
Park and an ethnic stereotype.
Hey, whatever makes the audience happy.
This game has Asian Town as a parody of all the Western games that have like an Asian mysticism level. That is incredibly offensive. So they made an incredibly offensive to Asian level in their Asian-made game.
Oh dear, I've gone cross-eyed.
Yep. This game loves meta humor. And we're missing most of it.
Let's not forget how many RPGs back in the day had, you know, were like heavily Tolkien influenced, and then had a ninja town in the middle of it.
Yep.
You remember how many points a doc's worth? Nah, but those bastards in private practice are worth big bucks.
I did want to get to this moment.
He's public.
So I'm also glad we're cramming this cutscene in here.
So, why do you get more for private docs?
'Cause those insurance-sucking fat wallet bottom feeders take your money. Who the fuck are you?
Just a firm believer in
And
public
Cap.
healthcare.
Yes!
Yeah, we just made Jack way more likable too.
Now all he needs to do is just say trans rights.
Yeah. Which is, unfortunately, the opposite of what this game actually says.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Ain't That Funny. The thread loved this song.
Wow. I
Yeah,
think it's because, for me, this is probably the most repetitive song in the game.
It is severely repetitive. Like, yeah, this chorus is probably the most repetitive part of the entire soundtrack.
It just makes me think of when I was playing stuff like Kingdom Hearts and you get to Halloween Town, and it's the same 20 seconds over and over again for the music.
Yeah, people really liked the vocals and the lyrics on this song. Like, You Die, I Get Paid is pretty catchy.
Yeah, that's true.
This is also the area where I actually started dying occasionally, and I already started dying in the easier part of the game.
Yeah, the game does take a bit of a difficulty spike here.
Yeah, I believe each new area is a pretty big jump in difficulty.
Does also have one of my favorite sections, though, with the human tempura.
Oh, yeah.
And that's weird, because I like tempura. Tempura prawns are amazing.
I feel like human tempura would just be better.
Well, I mean, humans, you know, we're all fat and juicy and filled with antidepressants.
Yeah. Ooh. Steamed buns.
Man who dies without eating steamed buns has never lived.
Thus, that guy lived very briefly. There we go. We saw our cutscene. Very important cutscene, actually. Remember that. Seemed like very little happened.
No one say that this is a game that doesn't have a plot.
That's for sure. Not this game's plot. I love this game. I have virtually no complaints. I hate this game's plot. But it doesn't detract from the quality of the game because you can basically just ignore it.
Yeah. It's very much an excuse plot.
Yep.
But they still decide to get very convoluted with it towards the end.
Yep. It goes places.
There's a reason why everyone remembers the gameplay and the commentary and the music and nothing else.
Yep. It's all about jokes and style. Very, very little about the substance of the game because the substance leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
But I'd always heard, like, the gameplay was actually kind of weak. I strongly disagree with anyone who ever said that.
I think it's because it came out at a time when people were, this came out roughly the same time as stuff like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, that was hailed as having incredibly complex and deep gameplay.
Yeah.
And this is wang bang bus.
Oh, I never got my scissors, I just remembered. We'll get more opportunities for scissors. So stay tuned for scissors.
But yeah, this came out at a point when people were expecting games to be a lot more involved and in-depth and complex, and this is basically a beat-em-up.
Yeah, true.
Which did not go down too well.
Yeah, it wasn't especially well received despite being one of the best video games ever.
Yeah, this is basically the very definition of a cult hit.
Yep. And we're in that cult. So if you'd like to continue being in the cult with us, we're going to play through the entire rest of this game. I'm looking forward to it. That first segment was very, very fun. And the music is so great. I could listen to it in any context at any point for the rest of my miserable life.
Definitely one of my favorite OSTs of any generation.
Yeah.